With your surfing and the other sports that you mentioned, did that kind of come to you naturally as well, being able to do these things?
Yeah, I've always been like grown up just wanting to do things, if that makes sense. I was like the youngest out of I think like 17 cousins or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
My family's huge.
yeah,
And so I was always the youngest one. I was the little like people would always like yell at me or like, scream my name, right? Like
yeah,
because I
yeah,
was like, oh, that little cousin that like and I was always trying to catch up to them and whatever they did, I always like was like, okay, I'm gonna get good at this. Like I'm gonna try to do it, and that just like kind of has taught me. And like even with the sport of slacklining, when I started, it wasn't like I just like was just naturally gifted. Like
yeah,
it was one of those sports that taught me, and it sounds silly, but it's taught me so much in like life because I started out not even being able to stand on this short little line, and I can see like when people do it, they can't stand on this line, and then coming back day after day to this gym or like coming back a couple times a week and
yeah,
putting in that time to be able to do that was just like this thing that is like totally mind-blowing. Whoa, if you practice at something you can achieve it, right?
yeah,
So I would go back every weekend, and like even during high school I would like instead of like hanging out with friends and like partying sometimes I would just like I think almost every single weekend of like the last couple years of my high school I would go out there and like train every single weekend. I would like
wow,
take out public transportation like an hour and just like go train at this gym, and then being able to see that putting in time can like allow you to achieve something. And like even if it's as simple as walking a line, right? So there's trick lining and then something as simple as walking a line. You can't walk the line, but if you put in a little bit of time and practice it, anyone can do it. It's not something that you're either born with or you got lucky with, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's definitely taught me so much, and like I'm a like huge believer that like if you put in time into anything, like you can get good at it. Whether you say like you can't or like, or other people think you can't, it's like you definitely can. And I that's like something actually I love commenting on like on some of my videos that like people comment back like how's that even possible? Like I've always wanted to do this. And like my answer is always like do it. Like all you need is a little bit of practice. Like
Yeah, and well,
and you
what you
can
said is being able to like kind of put in the work, right? That's people
yeah.
always say the end product, but they don't see what goes into your hours of training, practicing, catching that bus, like taking an hour to get there, then get
Yeah,
home. Like it's something that I think not a lot of people see because with social media, it's always very surface level, right? It's kind of
yeah,
just what you
totally.
see. It's not being able to kind of work out exactly the ingredients that went there in the first place. And I think it's
Yeah,
important to remind everyone and people. And, I always fall into this trap where it's like, oh, you just kind of want to get there sooner, you want to get
yeah,
there now. But
yeah,
everything's like a journey. Like, and I think if failing is or not having that immediate success means kind of more because then you're able to reevaluate and then, have it make it more sweeter, once
yeah.
you reach what you want to reach.
Totally, totally. And it's like what you said is like that's so true. It's like social media is this perfected version of what everyone does, right? So it's like it's sometimes it's very hard to see like those like progression videos, but like when you
Mm,
see it and when you see that it's totally possible, it shows you that like, oh, this is maybe something I can do. And for me, those are the type of videos that inspire me to like want to go out and train them, right? These
yeah,
like progression videos because I can see physically, oh, they weren't able to do it with a little bit of work and like just having this mindset of it's possible, then it like makes me want to go out and like and try things.
yeah, 100%.